Hey people, here we are then with the Krogan Warlord Sentinel. I'm playing with my three of my buddies here. I got Myth and Dom, and I've also got of the North VT. We just call him North, to be honest. The Krogan Warlord. What a disappointment. I'm sorry, I'm gonna just I can put that out straight away. This guy is an absolute liability as far as I'm concerned. No, I don't like this character, to be honest. There's a lot of fun to be had, but he's just so impractical. Really, he is. Literally, his best friend is that other big bastard, the Juggernaut. You've got yourself a good partnership there with that guy who cannot be sync killed, just sort of taking all the distraction, and then this guy who can be sync killed but does a ton of damage when no one's looking at him. Because that is the biggest issue with this guy. He is completely melee reliant. That's what he does. He melees. There's not a lot of other options you've got there with your powers and stuff. You can obviously just sort of strap on a gun and just start gunning, but what's the point in playing this character to do that? His heavy melee is awesome as it is, and as cool as it looks, is just clumsy, long, and really impractical. As you can see, there's a whole wind-up before he hits the ground with that hammer. In this space of time, most enemies that can sync kill you will sync kill you. I mean, I've never known brutes to be such a scary target before until I started playing with this guy. Literally, brutes I have to really be cautious about taking on, because this it's just not enough. It really isn't. Really, that hammer needs a shorter animation. It needs more radius. It needs more damage. To be perfectly honest, it is incredibly high risk. This is so much more high risk than any other melee build I have ever dealt with or built myself. To be honest, because you're a Krogan, you haven't got any evasive rolls. So once you're in there, you can't just pull out quickly. You've got to turn your big ass around and just sort of dino wobble your way out of there. It's hard work playing the Krogan Warlord. Although, you know, you go against the Geth and you're going to have a good time, because they got no sync kills and your health regeneration's too much for them. You will completely wreck the Geth. Yeah, but it's just annoying that he can only really take on one faction, whereas the like I said, you really just need backup with this guy. Solo rounds with this guy would be... well, I wouldn't say they'd be interesting. You probably just find that the guy would be shooting a lot more, because he just melee's crazy. See, now and again, he does the classic sort of normal Krogan charge heavy melee. I don't know what triggers it. It seems to be when I'm sprinting, I seem to get that off, but who knows? It's not like I'd prefer it anyway. If I wanted to do that melee, I'd play one of the normal Krogans. I wish there was some kind of invulnerability or a larger radius or more damage. You know, you're in so much trouble when you're meleeing, and that's really all you've got to do. So let's talk about the character. He's basically got a melee attack like everybody else. He's got his light melee's a headbutt that does lead into some sort of hammer swing, so it's not the same Krogan headbutt. If you come into contact with other enemies, you can carry the object like a normal Krogan, but you won't. If you start doing a string of light melees, it's going to change on you. Then he's got the heavy melees, that big wind-up hammer slam thing. Basically, what you can do is enchant that melee attack with tech or biotic power, and that's what biotic hammer and electric hammer is. That's what that is hit, and then you've got tech armor for protection and stuff. Now, the difference between the two is basically electric hammer allows you, apart from it obviously being a tech power, it does an area of effect attack. It's got a nice bit of radius to it. Not enough, but it has got more radius on it than the biotic hammer, which basically has none. The biotic hammer then, however, is one hell of a hit. It does a ton of damage, the biotic hammer, as you hope you can see. And basically what I do, I take the electric hammer out for all enemies that aren't a boss, and then when I'm dealing with a boss, that's when I switch to the biotic hammer. The electric hammer is what gets used for the most what I've done for the electric hammer, I've selected radius for the first evolution, and then I've gone with the fire damage for the next one, because that's really nice. Any enemy that doesn't die from the initial strike, it normally burns to death then, any kind of mook enemy, so that really does the job for taking out crowds of enemies. For the bio, that's it though. I didn't fully spec up the electric hammer. The other stuff he's got is far too important. For the biotic hammer, I think that's just all power. You know, that's force. There's force and damage in the first evolution, then it's like armor damage in the next evolution. But then for the final evolution, rather than like going through shielding and creating all this extra force, I've gone with an extra charge, which means I can use the biotic hammer twice without having to re-enchant my hammer again. So that helps when you're taking on bosses, because there's no big boss in this game that you can kill with a single biotic hammer strike. So it's better that I can lump them twice then. I have got tech armor on. It's quite vital. I've gone with durability in the first evolution, and I've gone for the melee damage in the next. I'm not entirely sure how much power damage buffs fitting to the whole melee attack. I mean, you are enchanting them with tech and biotic, true Sentinel style, but I have no idea how much that's really going to change up the damage you're doing. And plus, obviously, the melee bonus is much larger than the power bonus, so I'm always going to recommend that. What's most important though is his fitness, or rage. I forget what they call it, but basically, yeah, his fitness. It's pretty much like my my Krogan soldier. As I go for durability in the first evolution, but then I want martial artist, so that after a heavy melee, my melees are stronger after that. So you know, that's a given. I'm heavy meleeing constantly with this character. And then the last one is going to be his pure rage, which is absolutely fantastic. His rage is different from other Krogan, where he actually does get health regeneration, and it's impressive health. See, this Marauder's not going to kill me. That's why I'm quite happy to do these devices here, because I got so much. I can take so much damage. I've obviously got a lot of damage reduction from tech armor and the Krogan, so I've got a lot of health anyway, but that health regeneration is quick. But also with his pure rage evolution, rather than having to just kill 2 enemies to get rage trigger, you need to kill 1 with a heavy melee. How awesome is that? 1 kill, and then I've got rage on, so it's very easy to keep your rage mode up. You've got, you can tank, you really can tank. Unfortunately, I only had a cyclonic 1 for this game, but if you had a cyclonic 4, this would, you know, I could be a lot meaner, really. Just butt that Banshee. But you definitely want to fully spec out that. You definitely want that that rage evolution there for 1 hit, because, like I said, he is all melee. He's nothing without his melee attack. So you want to be able to, you want to be as efficient in that as possible. For his passive, though, I did take damage and capacity. I figured a bit of power damage is going to help with his melee attack, and it's going to let me carry a slightly stronger, bigger gun. I put the Graal spiker on him, basically because it does nice armor damage. It goes right through armor mitigation. It will pierce because of the size of the projectile that comes out with it, and it staggers with every hit. It staggers with every hit, and I just find that I need as much staggering as possible, because, like I said, so many enemies can kill you before you can get that melee out. It's really bad. Phantoms, brutes, atlases, or Praetorians. Oh my god, Praetorians! They're just they're horrible, because like the only opportunity you've got to melee Praetorian is when he's doing his laser, but that Praetorian will cancel his laser attack, turn and insta kill you way before you can get your melee done. It's just too dangerous to really take on the Praetorian unless they're completely distracted by something else and you hit them in the arse. Yeah, but no, the Graal Spike is going to stagger, so basically if I try and run around keeping it charged, I will just fire it from the hip. It's good. I'll fire it into like a crowd of enemies. I might stagger a Phantom, and then I'm going to go in, and then I think I might just go with my light melee cycle with that, but if I've got a significant sort of stagger going on, I will just go for the heavy melee, the electric hammer, and probably take out the Phantoms. The electric hammer can kill Phantoms in 2 hits. The biotic hammer can take her out in 1, but I'd still recommend using your electric hammer just because she's so nimble. She can get out of the way, and obviously the radius on electric hammer is going to be better for dealing with her. Stairs are your friend with this. Stairs are your friend with any like close quarter character, especially melee characters. But this character really, if you can live on the stairs, I'd absolutely recommend you do, because you're going to see me do that a lot, especially when there's a lot of brutes and banshees out on the field. I'm just going to try and hole up on the stairs here and try and make sure that we're never level, so I can't be sync killed and I can just give out a ton of damage. I just tried a platinum game with some of my friends, Grump and stuff earlier. Oh, I felt like an amoeba. I just really I didn't felt like less of a man coming out of that game. This guy is an absolute liability. I didn't really get a good wave out until me and Grump sort of teamed up. He was playing the Juggernaut and he was just... the Juggernaut's a crazy heavy melee where he just lifts them off the ground. He was just holding up all these phantoms and then I was just running in and I was smashing them. That was a good wave for us, but other than that I was dead to the team. They might as well just free-manned it. It was painful. I was quite embarrassed to be there, to be honest. No, he's not platinum ready. He's not a platinum character. I'm sure, yes, you could get him to go platinum, but you wouldn't be meleeing like this. You wouldn't be playing the character how he was designed. You'd be just sticking a good gun on him and just sort of tanking it really, and then throwing in the occasional melee to finish enemies off, because that's really the best way to take out the sync enemies for this character. Is if you can see if they're one biotic hammer away, which is about, I mean, if they got anything less than like 5 armor bars, your biotic hammer's going to take them out really, even on platinum. So yeah, that's basically, you use your hammer to finish enemies off, but you're probably just going to be gunning with him if you wanted to take this guy to platinum. Other than that, no, he's not platinum ready. This guy he's not really gold ready, to be honest. Yeah, he's a real liability. Fun novelty, but I find him really impractical, to be perfectly honest. Like I said, I think what's more important than anything else with the way his attack work is he needs more radius. He needs like a bigger impact radius on everything, even the evolutions, the whole works. He needs to just be able to not be so damn close to the enemy to do that thing. And also getting on cue as well, just trying, because like things that your normal hammer and your biotic hammer, you really need to be dead on to be doing any decent damage. You hit the enemy on their side and you can barely scratch them. It's quite embarrassing. But you hit them dead on and they take a ton of damage. They really do. One cool thing I did discover is you can cancel the enchanting animation from when you obviously selecting your biotic or your electric hammer. Is you can cancel that with another heavy melee. So that you can do a nice sequence there when you're trying to really take out a boss. You can just sort of enchant, cut that as soon as you've hit enchant, you're ready to go really. You can just do a heavy melee and that'll be a biotic strike. You can do 2 of those if you're taking my build, and then by that time you're ready to summon the biotic hammer again, and then you can just cancel that, go into another 2 melees. So yeah, I constantly just melee cancel my the enchanting bit. As you can see, you get little orbs on the back of the hammer there. That's showing you how many strikes you got left. You can get 3 strikes maximum with the electric hammer and 2 strikes maximum with the biotic hammer. The 3 strikes would be nice, but like I said, everything else I've picked is a bit too important really. You might be able to just completely ignore his passives and just fully spec out everything else. That could be an option, but I just wanted to be able to enchant my hammer quite frequently while holding a gun like the Graal, because I wanted, obviously with the Graal it allows me to use the shotgun Omniblade, which is the highest melee buff attachment. It gives you 50% more melee damage, so that's great. Obviously, but obviously in the Graal staggers with every shot, so that's just really helpful, because you definitely need that. You want to take a staggering gun. The Geth plasma shotgun would be nice, but I didn't take that because it lacks kind of armor damage. And the Scorpion might work, but then you won't be able to get the Omni Blade, the shotgun Omni Blade. So who knows? Definitely one to keep playing with, I suppose. He is fun though. Don't get the wrong idea. He is a lot of fun to play. He's just such a liability, though. He really is. He's a really clumsy character. He can't go into cover. That's something to be aware of. He cannot take cover. So you can't jump over cover, so it takes a while to run around the map. So especially even then, like when you're trying to escape an enemy that can sync kill you, you've literally got to like circle around chest high walls and stuff like that. That again makes him even clunkier. Banshee is going to take me out. I went for the spawn, and I thought I thought I got onto the stairs there, but no, she got me on the top there, so I'm out this game. Miss playing with the Alliance infiltration unit. He's put the Game Plasma shotgun. Any shotgun's going to work on her, but he's put that armor piercing on it. Don't do that. Armor piercing does not work on the projectile weapons at all. You won't get any of the piercing, and you're not going to get the armor mitigation either, because projectiles they ignore it by default. So you're just wasting your time with any kind of armor piercing mod or ammo there. Dom's playing the normal Krogan Sentinel, trying to prove which Krogan Sentinel is actually better, and it is him. It's the original Krogan Sentinels are damn sight better than the Warlord, really. Although the skull's not going to show it. Haha, Dom. And North's trying out the Collector now. It's fabulously pink. Almost cute. His Collector. I'm going to be taking on the Geth Juggernaut next, and then I'm going to take on that Collector, but yeah, I want to have a go with that Juggernaut. He's another really interesting character. He does stuff that no other character does, so it's going to be fun to get my hands on him. The only thing I'm really kind of concerned about is the fact he can't run at all, the Geth Juggernaut, which is going to really slow down my game, and I like to be quite agile with everything I take on. I think Niff's going to get grabbed now. So it is up to the pink Collector and the original Krogan Sentinel. I got a face for the Krogan crotch for you there as well. You're welcome. Dom's rocking the Claymore on him. So, he's doing some nice damage there. This is North's first try with the Collector. He was still figuring him out. I know, so he's the character I know so little about. I've seen a couple of people play him. Myth actually does pretty well with this character. I've actually seen Myth do really well. Well, especially since I was playing the Warlord all day, I was just literally everything he was throwing out, I was just detonating with my big biotic hammer. But yeah, Myth's done quite well with him. So, but I know even though I've been told what his powers are doing or how they're moving around, I still don't really get the character yet. I know nothing about it. So I'm interested to play him for that reason, but I know I know what's going on with the Juggernaut, and I want to get my hands on it. I want to give it a go. Still no new guns though. I'm still buying reserves packs. Once I've got all the character cards, that's when I'm going to start unlocking my ultra rares and stuff. Might start buying a couple of arsenal packs to get the guns though, especially the gold guns. I'm not going to buy arsenal packs to get me the ultra rare guns. They just don't. The arsenal packs work like the Spectre packs for me. I just get cryo ammo out of the fucking things. So yeah, I'm going to probably switch to the arsenal packs, get those gold guns. That's a fail rocket there. Thought they would have the big spawn there, there was not. Yeah, so once I've got all the character cards, I'm probably just going to go arsenal pack, get all those gold guns, and then I'm going to switch back to my good old reserves pack and try and get myself some ultra rares. Because like the things like the Venom shotgun, from what I heard from Dom, I've got a little bit more info on it, and it is just a little bit more info. Apparently it like shoots cluster grenades or something like that, like cluster sticky grenades, which would probably be really great for this guy, to be honest. It really would. Just sort of throw them into an area, stagger the load of them, and then you can just sort of kind of melee with more security there. You're not going to have to worry so much about getting sync killed by phantoms and stuff. But yeah, no, if you really want to have a great time with this character, go Geth. Go take on the Geth, play this character, and absolutely destroy him. There's the Geth, the Krogan Warlord's light melee cycle. As you can see, after the first headbutt, he starts swinging his hammer. There's 2 hammer swings, they're very slow, but they're very hard hitting as well. See, now you'll see with what I am with the bosses, it's like I'm putting some graal shots into her until I can see that she goes into caster mode. Yeah, she cast a mode, boom, I'm in, and she's going to die then. Not going to take her on once she's still teleporting with that blue squiggly crap around her. That's a death sentence, it really is. Praetorians literally only take them on if they're completely distracted. That's why I said that's why the Geth Juggernaut's great, because he cannot be sync killed. So yeah, he'll just take up a load of he'll just take all the aggro for you, and you can smash that thing in the back. Scions are risky as well. It's like it's like I don't really get caught by the Scions have sync kill, but normally they can shoot me to death because they do so much damage, or they can melee me to death in the time it takes me to get his heavy melee off. So Scions are quite a pain to take on as well. I've put cryo ammo on the Graal, by the way, just to slow enemies down and weaken them for my attacks. Really not that important. It might be better to go with like a fire ammo actually, see if I can mix some fire explosions in there. But yeah, I've been going with cryo for now. It's only because I just don't shoot. Literally, I'm shooting the enemies. It's just not safe to attack, to be honest. But yeah, it is good damage. It is fun, but it is stupid at the same time. Like he's, I think for me, the worst character in the DLC. Actually, he's a real novelty character. Can have a riot with him on like the lower difficulties where they just don't sync kill. See, look, I had to go all the way around to try and take on that Ravager. He was dead before I got there. Can't just jump over the wall with this guy. Yeah. I mean, he's got like all the clunkiness of the Juggernaut with none of the benefits. You know, it's like the Juggernaut can't be sync killed. But this guy, yeah, everything can sync killed. Well, I'll tell you what, though, he cannot be grabbed and wrestled by husks and abominations. That's what I made that led me into making some fatal mistakes when I first started playing him. I figured, oh, maybe it's just the big, because I had seen other people play him and get sync killed. So I knew he could be, but then I was starting to think after the husks couldn't do anything, I was thinking, oh, maybe it's kind of like a weaker Juggernaut immunity thing. Maybe it's only the big bosses that can sync kill you. No. Phantoms will stab you, brutes will smash you in the ground. It looks ridiculous when a brute grabs him, by the way. He's so big. Look at him, he's about the size of a brute, but that big claw hand will lift you in the air and smash up your spine. So, yeah, all sync killers will get you. It's only the husks and abominations you've got an immunity to. So, yeah, he can do devices. Yes, it's super. He can do devices for you. And like I said, one of the reasons I get so edgy around the brutes is because I still don't really know how their sync kill works, to be honest. I'm told that when their eyes are red, they sync kill, but they just seem to do it fucking random. It really does. I'd have no idea what triggers the brute sync kill. Basically, if I've seen them melee, I'm getting out of dodge. Like I'm gonna start hitting them with the Graal. But look at me, I'm just holding up here on the stairs. All my lovely health regeneration is literally letting me tank there, and I'm just swinging like a madman, just dealing out some really nice damage. That's like the best way you can survive against any other faction that isn't Geth. But the thing is, even with the collectors, though, like you can avoid the sync kills, but they do so much damage that they actually go through your health regeneration and they still kill you. So collectors are really hard to fight this character. Although I had a really nice collector run. It was the video I was planning to use. We did wipe in the end, and that's why I was kind of hoping to get one where we didn't. So, and this is it. This is the one where we didn't wipe. Yeah, but he's. I mean, for all you point holes as well, he's really not going to be one for you. He's one that's subject to so much spur point kill stealing. Because, like I said, you're swinging that clumsy fucking thing around, and most people will just gun down that enemy before you've landed the hit and stuff like that. And anybody's going to just sort of throw in a power, and you're just going to detonate it for them. So it's their kill technically. You're just getting assist points. I don't care about points, but you know, for those you do, you're probably not going to like the Juggernaut for that reason either. Not the Juggernaut, sorry, the Warlord. Pretty sure he'd be infinitely better with a nice cyclonic modulator. I've only got one though, so it was kind of soft for what I needed to do, but I cracked through. I don't think I used a Medi-gel in this game, and that might have been my first death. Ignoring the sync kill, of course. which I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on ignoring that sync kill. Yeah, it was very disappointing with this character actually. He's one for clowning around with. He's not. He's not the old reliable at all. But we're wrapping up here. There's 10 seconds on the clock now, so they're just gonna North's gonna nuke the LZ, and we're just gonna get all cushy here. And I'm gonna show you the build now. I think all the other characters are going to be a lot of fun, actually. I think the Collector's got a lot of potential. I've seen some nice damage being done with him. The Juggernaut, I know, is actually pretty cool. I do want to have some fun with the Juggernaut. And who else is... Oh, the Talon. Actually, I forgot about the Talon. A lot of people are struggling with the Talon. I think he might be a bit buggy, actually. A lot of people are just saying like those trip mines just aren't detonating, and you know they are different. They're not like the mines that you want to have enemy walk over. They got like a beam of light that comes out of them, and you want to make enemies cross the beam of light for it to detonate. But I think a lot of people are just telling me like, hang on, these enemies are not triggering these trip mines. So, and a lot of people just really don't care for his bow, and that's everything he's got going for him. He's got like a buggy mine, and then he's got a bow that nobody likes. So he could be tricky. I'll see what I could do. Well, because I've heard so much complaints about him, not a lot of my friends are playing him. But here's the build. Okay, so it's durability and melee damage for tech armor. Biotic hammer fully spec'd out. Damage and force, armor damage, and a number of charges. Electric hammer is going to be radius and fire damage. Krogan Warlord damage and capacity. And then for Warlord Rage, I've got durability, martial artist, and then finally pure rage. Obviously the weapons, my Graal Spiker, I put the Omni Blade on it, and I did the extended barrel. That's the video though, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow with the Juggernaut. Take care of yourselves.